right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Guys, Bitcoin is pumping, or was pumping. Now it's dropping. Welcome in, everybody. Tony CC, thank you so much. Welcome in. Yeshwant, much love to you. Time Attack, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding for me. And yes, I am looking for a back test of this value area high, as I talked about in the Telegram, because we did get so close to front running, or we front ran our highs, but we got so close to taking them out. Crypto Wander One, thank you so much for the comment. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button on your way in, or if you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream. Fruit Miss, what's up, man? Welcome in. Mark Lowe, much love, my man. Thank you for being here. Oh, how do I skip the countdown screamer? Well, it's at 0 now. Sorry about that, bud. Easy peasy. Welcome in. Can you go to settings and change that speed? It will fix the delay at least. Is there a delay? Let's see. To joke here. You can go to settings and change. Oh, a delay for the live stream. I think there is like a 10-second delay or something like that. I'll look into seeing if I can change that setting. THR Tiger, welcome in. Lost X, what's up, man? Welcome in as well. R Pink, much love to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding. Josh Bryan, Friday it is. Welcome in. Not quicker. Look at that beautiful curvature on Market Cipher B. Well, okay, so I want to talk about the low time frames. Javier, Liam, welcome in, guys. We did finally come up. Now, here's the thing. I realized on Coinbase, you can see my anchored VWAP finally got hit on Coinbase. I know Andy said that the anchored VWAP was hit in this area on Coinbase, so I went back and I checked, and I put this anchored VWAP when it was on the daily time frame, but if you zoom in onto the 4-hour and you put it on the top, it does hit it. So it did hit it prior, but we are kind of rejecting from that anchored VWAP area and the top of the pitchfork band with a pretty big wick past it. But we're breaking out with some pretty high volume out of the value area high of the range. And because we did get so close to taking out the highs, I do think there is a possibility where we bounce here and then come take out the highs. And if we do get an SFP, I'll look to short that. Like, I am still looking for shorts in this area and coming up to about 75.3. I'm going to show you guys what that is in just a second. If we dump back inside the volume profile, it's going to be pretty bearish, and then that means our big dump could be coming in place. Here's the thing. With this push to the downside that we saw last week, this did look more impulsive. So I was looking for a lower high, you know, golden pocket 786 zone, and particularly this purple box of resistance as an area to put in that lower high before making another lower low and really seeing that aggressive dump come into the downside in a wave 3. But in a wave 2 retracement, yes, it is true you want to see this nice zigzag pattern like this. You do want to see a nice zigzag pattern making a lower high. But your most common targets for a wave 2 are between the 0.5 Fibonacci and the 0.786. And we even hit the 886. We actually hit the 886 Fibonacci, which is not an invalidation, but it's a very uncommon wave 2 target. You generally want to reject around that golden pocket 786 zone. And you can see we pretty much came up, it's like a 95% retracement of this dump to the downside, which does lower the probabilities of this being a wave 2 corrective move before seeing that dump. But how awesome would it be if the market makers, because you can see we just wicked past the 786 or the purple box of resistance. We didn't really find any closes, at least on the 4-hour. Now on the 1-hour, you do have a pretty aggressive close above. You can see a couple hours of a close above. But it would be interesting if the market makers do dump it from here. You know, everyone is expecting new highs coming on the charts. We pretty much took out the range highs, or we double topped the range highs. And what if we just dump here? That is something that could happen because of the amount of long positions that came in on this breakout to the upside. So first off, yesterday during the live stream, we were looking at this triangle, and I did say it was unlikely that it was going to play out as a bull flag, but it did. You know, it played out pretty much. You have your pull, you have your flag, and then you kind of got, now your pull hasn't gotten filled all the way, or your target hasn't gotten filled all the way. But then we even created another little triangle in here that was developing over the live stream yesterday. And sure enough, when we broke out of that triangle, we broke out of the big triangle, and that's when we kind of got our aggressive move to the upside. But if we look at our order flow here, you can see specifically from the end of our smaller triangle, from the end of this smaller triangle, right in this area, we see a lot of fresh long positions coming in. Long positions, fresh long positions coming in pretty aggressively. So this was a strong push to the upside, a strong break to the upside. And unfortunately, just like we always see, you saw a lot of retail longing pretty much near the absolute top of the move. So within this last, you got this itty bitty retracement that lasted about an hour, but within this move right here, we saw a whole lot of long positions stepping in, and they were hyper aggressive long positions, new positions, longing towards the top. So anytime you see a long towards the top, and I get it, they were probably longing thinking we were going to break out of the range highs or at least take the range highs. Well, now the market makers stop it right before taking the highs and start to retrace down here, stopping them out. So we're seeing on this dump, we're seeing a long squeeze to the downside. You can see how on the dump, we have mostly decreasing open interest and a pretty strong decrease in open interest. So, and of course, you got that big initial, those, what is a stop out of a long? It's a market short or a sell. So we saw that long squeeze take place, start to take place. Now we have had some new long stepping in towards the bottom down here, towards the value area high of the back test, but we haven't quite hit it, at least on Coinbase. If we go back to the Coinbase chart, we haven't quite tapped it yet. And I get that it's an area, it's not a specific, but you can see here around 70,790 or 70,800 is our bullish backtest of the value area high. So let's zoom in on this. Let's see if we can get another move to the upside, because I am interested in taking this long position. I have not taken anything yet though. So if we look at, first of all, NAMI is quicker than Market Cipher B. And you can see on this dump that we've been having for the past couple hours here, few hours, we do have multiple drives of bull div. One, two, actually just one drive of bull div with a nice trigger wave here. On the 15-minute, money flow is now bottomed out and is starting to curve to the upside. If we go to the 6-minute chart, 6-minute chart, nice bull div on Market Cipher B, nice bull div on NAMI, money flow bull div on NAMI, and your money flow on Market Cipher still not quite bottomed out yet. And I think that's because we haven't actually touched the value area high yet. But it is setting up for a scalp long opportunity, because on this retracement, we would want to see bull divs on the 15-minute and under. If we go to the 30-minute, you can see on NAMI, we do have 30-minute bull divs here as well. So 30-minute bull divs, money flow looks like it's about to curve back up on Market Cipher B, and the momentum looks like it's about to bottom out here. So it is showing me signs that we might get a retracement to the upside, or a move up. And we could always watch for that golden pocket 786 zone, because we could put in a lower high and then dump. But I mean, it looks like it wants to bounce here and at least come up and test this general area before seeing a drop down, or more likely make new highs and take out today's high and the range highs together. So I am looking for a long. Now I'll tell you, where am I looking to take profit on this long position? This is a scalp long position, by the way. If you're longing this value area high back test, you're waiting for it to kind of, you know, wick into it, maybe start to close some 5-minute candles above. Your stop is going to go be wherever below, wherever that wick low is. You're not putting your stop below this low or this low or this low or this low. You're putting your stop below wherever that local wick low is going. And for me, the first TP, of course, would be taking out the highs, like at least 50%. But if we look at, and that's a really nice risk to reward scalp trade right there. But let's go ahead and zoom out a bit. I'm going to go on to the 4-hour chart, and I want to show you guys a $75,300 target that is very, very interesting. So remember, we're looking for this overall range here to be a 4th wave corrective range before dumping in a 5th wave to the downside to maybe 57, 58K. And we're also kind of looking for that overall zigzag move to the upside. So if we take from our initial moves in this range. Let me just hide this range, this one. So from the 60K lows to our initial dead cat bounce highs, down to our higher low at that golden pocket, or that was our 786 zone, that very key zone. If we turn on that trend-based Fibonacci extinction, you can see that our target for the one-to-one Fibonacci extinction is coming in around $75,300, just above us. But remember, we're also looking for this being a wave 4 retracement. And in a wave 4, to get your wave 4 targets, which are between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci, you go from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3. And so if we look at the non-log scale, because this is, yes, this is a 33% drop, so technically log is what you want to use, but it's so close to that cutoff of 30% that I told you I would be paying attention to both the log and the non-log. So where is that 0.5 on the non-log scale coming in? 75,238, right on top of your one-to-one Fibonacci extinction. Now let's look at our most local move up here. If this is a 3-wave corrective move coming to the one-to-one Fibonacci, we can turn on that one-to-one Fibonacci from low to high to low. Our one-to-one is coming in pretty much right in that zone. So we do have some confluence around that $75,300 mark where we could see a potential rejection. Everyone is longing the breakout of the range just to come up into this resistance and then fall back. That is an area I'm going to be watching, because I do think still, guys, we do have a chance, a pretty solid chance that this is a corrective range before dumping. I mean, it is getting quite long in time now as well. That is something that is concerning. It's getting quite long in time. So if we're looking at it now as not a, let me go to the Bybit chart. If we're looking at it instead of being a 5-wave impulse to the downside, seeing it as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, you're in your extended 5th wave. Your 4th wave corrective move is starting to get way too long. So it kind of is starting to lessen the probabilities that this is a 5-wave impulse to the downside. But instead, we can look at the other scenario the other bearish scenario that we had marked out, the WXY correction, right? The WXY correction. So in your W, you have that nice 3-wave zigzag move. In your X, you have that nice 3-wave zigzag move. And within your Y, we're looking for boom, boom, and then still another drop to the downside. But this push up can even come up to the golden pocket, and that's at $78,000. So we could still make a lower high at $78,000 and then dump to take out your 60K lows. But if we're looking at now this being a WXY on the more macro scale rather than an impulse down, we could break up quite a bit higher within this range here. We could break it up to 78K, or, you know, I'm not looking at 85K or 80K quite yet. But let's see what happens here. Also, Bybit anchored VWAP has not been touched yet. So that anchored VWAP is going to be coming in around $74,600, $74,500. So it is about $800 less than our 0.5 Fibonacci target. But that 0.5 Fibonacci target, we often see where it'll wick past the anchored VWAP for like, you know, $500, $600 and then close at or below that anchored VWAP. Very similar to what happened here, or very similar to what happened. We wicked about $900 past it in this high. So if I throw on that anchored VWAP, wicked past it about $900, but closed below. So we could be seeing something where you do get a wick up to 75.3 and then close an hourly or 4-hourly candle at or below that zone. But yes, so if we were looking for the bigger short to come in right now, I would personally want to see some better bearish divergences. And earlier this week, we were making some nice bearish divergences. But you can see here with this pump that we got, this aggressive pump that we got on the 1-hour chart, We do not, I said it between this high, remember yesterday's live stream, between this high and whenever we get this new high coming in, I want to see bear divs on the chart. We are not seeing bear divs on Market Cipher B, and we are not seeing even local bear divs on NAMI. We are not seeing them play out. They've been invalidated with this pump. If we go to the 4-hour chart, on the 4-hour chart, no bear divs locally. You know, you do have the higher highs here, but you do also have higher highs here. No bear divs here, right? So we are not seeing those bear divs between those two highs that I wanted to see. If we go on to the 8-hour chart, on the 8-hour chart, money flow has now continued. Remember, yesterday it was kind of starting to roll down on Market Cipher B. It is now flipped back up here. And what would be nice, though, is if we do get one more high, taking out the range highs into that $75,300 area on the 8-hour chart, which is a very nice time frame to look for an intermediate bear div. We would get that bear div if we take out the range highs. And that's why I'm looking for a potential bounce here coming up very, very locally to come up and hit that 75,000 or at least 74.5, really minimum, just taking out SFPing the range highs. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, but I am still expecting a bigger dump relatively soon here, maybe in the next week or so. It all depends on how we break this high. If we start to break out of this high and really continue past 75, I mean, there's really nothing that's going to keep us from coming to that 78. There isn't, and we'll probably see an aggressive move up. But we're not seeing the bear divs we would want to see right now for the dump, neither on Market Cipher B or NAMI. We're not seeing the bear divs we would want to see for the big dump to occur. If we range over the weekend, because we are still in this, so let me go ahead and hide some of this stuff on the chart now and clean this up just a little bit. We are still overall rejecting from the purple box of resistance, and you can see here, it is the top of the pitchfork band. All we did was wick past it on the 8-hour, and on the 4-hour, you did close a candle inside the purple box, or pretty much right above, right at the beginning of the purple box where that 786 fib was. And then you're starting to dump now. But really, at least on the intermediate time frames, our purple box of resistance is holding, and our pitchfork band is holding. And the back test of the value area high is going to tell us everything we need to know. Like, whatever happens here on this back test of the value area high is going to be very important locally to understand whether we are going to continue up to take out the range highs, or if we start to fall back inside, man, that could get really bearish here, guys. And like, I would be looking, you know, if we fall back inside, probably going to see a little bounce from that anchored VWAP. If we back test that bearishly, that value area high now, and start to reject, I would be looking for a short upon that back test. But it is because your wick is so high up here, that's not good risk management. If you're shorting here, stop all the way. You probably have to put it above this high, and then you're targeting, I mean, I would at least be targeting the lows of the range, at least this low. Let's just say at least that weekend low from last weekend. That is not really a good risk to reward ratio. Overall, I do expect us to take out the 60K lows if we do fall back inside. So if you're looking at that, it's still only a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio for a pretty aggressive move to the downside. So I wouldn't be setting my stop above that high. I would be waiting. I would have to zoom in on this, and like, if we get a wick past it or even start to reject, maybe we bounce from here and we come up to the golden pocket area, I could look for a short even lower, but my stop would go above this local high, and then I would be targeting TP1 there. Look at, that's already a double risk to reward ratio trade, and then targeting something like that, which is a really good risk to reward ratio trade. So we would have to manage that trade setup depending on what happens on this back test, or if we fall back inside. Now, if you're already short, good for you. You know, I would stick in the short. Why not, you know, maybe take a TP1 of 25% when you're hitting this value area high, just to lock in some profits, move your stop loss to break even. And if you get stopped out, okay, great. Look to re-enter. If we SFP, look to re-enter at 75.3, whatever it is your trading plan is. Okay, let me check the chat here. Samuel S., welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding for me. Jason expects 80K based on that weekly green dot. Yes, and we did talk about that weekly green dot yesterday. Historically, when you do see that weekly green dot print, that big weekly green dot, he calls it the BitBoy green dot, I think, this big one on Market Cipher B, it does tend to give you a few weeks of a move to the upside. You know, you get the green dot here, you get a few weeks of a move to the upside and a pretty aggressive move to the upside. If we look at the last time we got weekly green dots was all the way down here in this low, you got a few weeks of a move to the upside, right? But you can see here very similarly, you get a few weeks of a move to the upside and then you dump and take out the range lows of that range or of that corrective structure. And then the last time weekly green dot here, you did still get kind of a move down after that. It was a higher low, but yeah, you rarely get these weekly green dots on Market Cipher B. So for us to be printing one of these big BitBoy green dots here on Market Cipher B does mean that we could see some follow through, guys. And once again, on the Bybit chart, if we're looking at the bigger, let me get rid of this, the bigger zone here. Let me just zoom into the daily. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to hide this range. We are still bouncing from our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. So if we look at a 3-wave corrective move and we take our Fib extinction targets high to lower high, we did come right down to that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target. So maybe there is, in the very bullish scenario, the corrective move was done. The WXY correction was done here. And now we're about to see some explosive price action come in to the upside, right? Where we could be coming up to, you know, the mid 80s or even higher. To me, that's not the most likely scenario, because even if we're looking at this as a WXY correction, like I showed earlier, you have the 3-wave move in a W, you have the nice 3-wave move in an X, and then your Y wave, like if you're going to say it's done at 60K, it is a very wonky 3-wave move. Yes, you have your initial move down, you move sideways for a week, and then you get your big aggressive dump. So could that be the Y wave? Yes, technically there's no invalidation against that, but the time does not really match very good. You want some symmetry in those 3-wave corrective moves, and there's symmetry between W and X. There is not very good symmetry in Y. So it would actually be better if our Y wave is not done yet and we're going to see something like this, and then get that big move to the upside. So we do have a possibility. The low is in, and we are going to really pump. But it is not the biggest possibility for me. Okay. This is clearly going to dump to 45K. Man, I don't know if 45K, Lost X, welcome in, by the way. It's good to see you in here. 45K is pretty aggressive, at least for me for right now. It depends on how we start the dump. And once we get down to our $57,000 and then our $54,000 areas of support, I'm going to have to reassess once we get there, because, or as we're coming closer to them. Really, once we start taking out our range lows, that's when we can reassess how aggressive the dump is becoming, or like what the bull divs look like as we're coming down to our support levels. But yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, there's a possibility we could dump. Like, it's been following that fractal, that 2022 fractal pretty aggressively. And maybe it is going to see a big, huge dump. We'll have to just kind of wait and see. Okay. Let's see, Javier, talk to me. What do you see in Tau? We'll check some of the altcoins in just a second here. There's not too much to update on with Bitcoin. Liam, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the comment. Let's see, in Time Attack, much love to you, brother. That's on our side. Okay, C-Train, welcome in. Golden Liquidations, welcome in as well. It's a pleasure to see you in here as well. We hit the 618 to the dollar on this pullback. Are you talking about low time frame pullback? All right, let's see here. 15 minutes. Let me go here. So you're probably looking at, I'm assuming from the low. No, that's not going to be the 618 though. Oh, it is the 618. Yep. Okay. So yeah, pretty much hit that 618 Fibonacci, and that might be why we're front running the golden pocket. But I would prefer to come and actually hit that. Sorry, not gold. The value area high. But yeah, that's a pretty nice confluence there. So golden pocket as well. Pretty nice confluence there. Yeah, live trade. I'm hoping we get this live trade. I have not entered yet, guys, but I am looking to enter this. I think value area high moved up from where you have yours marked. My volume profile includes today. Well, mine should be up to date. If we look at my volume profile, it's up to date. Look at it's right. It's maybe now 15-minute candle. But let me just throw it to current price action. Yeah, you can see at current price action, it is sitting at pretty much $70,800, right at that $70,800 mark. Okay, your value area high was touched. Let me check the Bybit chart. And it depends also on how you pull that volume profile, of course, because if you're looking at including, you know, I go from the absolute low, that 4-hour wick low here, and on Bybit, it hasn't been touched either. So it depends on how you pull that volume profile, but you can see on Bybit, it still hasn't been touched. Let me just turn on this golden pocket only. So yeah, and then your golden pocket has been touched to the dollar, but coming down, it's actually closer to 70,600 on Bybit. So between 70,008 and 70,006 is where I'm looking for a potential long opportunity. We are going into the weekend, so we do have to be aware of kind of forming some sort of range in here as well throughout the weekend. Maybe we're not, maybe on Sunday we're going to come up and take out that high of the range and then start to dump on Monday. We have to, we just have to keep in mind the weekend possibilities. But with the war going on for the past couple of weeks, the weekends have been pretty aggressive. So we also have to keep that in mind. A better scalp from 70K. Let's see, what is at 70K that you are looking at? Yeah, I mean, that was where your VWAP close was yesterday, and that is going to be where the 786 is pretty much. Yeah. But you're back inside the volume profile. That's dangerous. If you fall back inside your volume profile now, it is not a good sign. It's not a very bullish sign. So you really don't, I mean, if we wick into it real quick, and then bounce and close like a 15-minute or 30-minute candle above or at the value area high, I would find that acceptable. But you really don't want to start wicking into it. You can see you wick out of it for a bit, and then you fall, and then you wick out of it a bit. So yes, you could wick into it. I mean, that's that general zone, right? 70.8 to 70K is the general zone you want to hold. Also, it's your fib retracement, right, for a high or low. 786. Yeah, looks like a decent 1 hour buy and low. Let's CDW the 74K high and run to 57. Nickel Nielsen, I think that's a great plan, man. CDW the high or even come up a little bit higher, but that's kind of what I'm looking at, to take out the range highs, but just not like a full breakout of the range highs, but just to take them out just by a little bit and then see that dump to 57K. Because how great would it be, guys? Now we are seeing a lot of long stepping in towards the highs of the range. We see this every time. Highs stepping in or long stepping in near the highs of the range. And if we do start to, first of all, we're already stopping at a lot of those longs. If we can back test that value area high and start to bounce, we want to see also when we're back testing that value area high just below us, we do want to see some long positions stepping in. So you want to see fresh longs stepping in to support the price, which would mean the market is willing to buy at what used to be considered overvalued for the past 5 weeks. So for the past 5 weeks, this was considered overvalued. This was considered undervalued, and your fair value was about that 68K, 67.9, 68K. But if the market is truly bullish on Bitcoin, then what you'll see is you'll see the market willing to step in and buy at the overvalued, therefore confirming that the market is now accepting this as a fair value, and then you would expect higher prices. Yeah, okay, just remember, JC did expect 120K when we pumped to 97K a month or two ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a giant pump. Now, there is the bullish possibility, which I will keep in mind just because I'm a trader who does keep both possibilities in mind. But I think that we do have a higher probability of breaking down and making new lows before coming up above 85K. Decrypto, welcome in, man. Good afternoon to you as well. Chi-Chan, welcome in. At this point, if bulls hold between 68 and 70K, I'm pretty sure we're going to take out the long. Yeah, take out the highs, you probably mean there. If we reject from 75K, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to go to 80K. Well, let's see what happens, guys. We are going into the weekend. Now, if you're in the short, looks like Ravnijay, you're in the short from 73.8. Yeah, 73.8. That's a really good short, and I would stay in that. Let's pull our local Fibonacci retracement, actually, and let's see. 73.8. So yeah, you're even above the 786 retracement. So if I was in that, wow, you pretty much got the exact highs of the move. That's a really good entry, man. And I would be staying in that because there is a possibility that this really does dump here. So maybe TP1, like, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice, and this is not financial advice. But if I was in that trade, I would TP some if we start to bounce from the value area high. Only if we start to bounce. Like if we're choppy here and doing a little range, I probably wouldn't TP. But if you start to break that little range to the upside, I would TP some, move my stop loss to break even because there would be a possibility of coming up to take out the highs. But that's a great entry, man. Wow. Good job there. Can you please check BitTensor Tau? Yes, I will check Tau. Had a massive impulsive and thinking. Yes, we can check that. BitBoy Crypto Morning TA was legend. Well, he did have a pretty popular morning show, right? And I think the guy just ended up going to jail and all this different stuff. Like, unfortunately for him, his life fell apart. Sirac, welcome in. Let's see here. Mind Tapestry, much love to you. Happy Friday to you as well, and many blessings to you. By the way, based on that 2022 fractal, we really must not reclaim that 70. Yes, that's another thing, Lost X. It is starting to see some deviation from that fractal. And in the 2022, you did get that kind of corrective move and then followed by an aggressive dump. But this push up is already starting to kind of, now it's a fractal. It's not going to play out 100%. So could this be like this and then the fractal still plays out? Yeah. But this move up is a little bit different from the fractal. And remember, the market rhymes, it does not repeat. So it doesn't have to be exactly like that fractal. Okay, THR Tiger, you sent a friend request to you on Discord. Okay, awesome, man. I will check that out and I will accept that. David Brumbelow, welcome in. I don't think we are going that far down right now. It's possible. I think we will have time to pump. Yeah, I mean, right now, there's no bear divs on the chart. I don't see an aggressive dump from today's high. It could come in soon, though. It could come in soon. I started volume profile on February 4th. Okay, February 4th. Oh, I see. That's why. Okay, now, so not quicker for me. This tool is called a fixed range volume profile. You're measuring the volume of a range, right? This dump to the downside from 98K to 60K is very clearly part of an impulse, right? A very aggressive impulse. So if you're taking from February 4th, you're taking this much of the impulse and adding it into your range. Yes, the price action is similar, right? As far as the actual range goes, the price action is similar, but it is part of an impulsive move to the downside. So generally, after the impulse finishes, you'll get a range that starts. And for me, I like to take it from the end of the impulse. So I will include that last wick sometimes, you know, I pull it from the end of the impulse over. So it just depends on how you pull it. Yeah, if you're pulling it to February 4th, there you go. It did hit. It does change the value area high just very slightly. And that is still overall, I would say, a valid pull. But for me, I like to really take it from the end of the impulse. So I hope that helps a little bit. That's why my value area high is a little bit different than yours. Yes, and I did see ETH is taking out the range highs. ETH did do that daily CDW. What a thriller today. Snipe the top. Awesome, man. With 150x leverage, but got stopped out 5 times. Okay. So I got some losses to catch. I crossed my fingers. Yeah, man, that's big deals. Well, that's a crazy 150x leverage. That's you got to be very precise with that. So can you explain the difference between a naked point of control and your regular POC? I want to use your indicator for them, but I have the free version on TradingView. Okay, so if you're looking at, you have free version of TradingView and you want to get naked daily points of controls. There is a way to do it with your volume profile. So you could go to the daily time frame, and what you're looking at doing now, this is going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but you get your volume profile and you just click it on the candle, and you click it on that one candle, and look it's going to give you the POC for that day. You're going to have to double click the candle. Now you can zoom in, and you could look at, you zoom into like the 1 hour chart, and you can look at, it's going to highlight. Okay, wait, let me do this. I think you got to do it like, you click that, you go from here to here, and that's going to give you your daily. Yeah, and so see, that's going to give you your volume profile for the day. And then that, see, obviously that one's been tapped. But let's go to the PVP that's on the weekly. Let me change that. See how that's the same volume profile? This daily volume profile is what I just marked out as well manually. So if you have the free version, you can do that. It's just going to be a pain in the butt trying to mark them out. Another thing you could do, I do have my charts. I shared my charts once in here. You could click on my charts. You could come in here, and I try to keep these up to date as best as I can. And I do have a not on this one, on my Coinbase chart is where I keep my object tree. And you can just look at my naked daily points of control and copy them. You can turn those on. You can see where the naked daily points of control are. Obviously, this one's not naked anymore. We'll delete that. But you can do that. So you can see at 78,236 is our next naked daily point of control above us. But there is a way. I mean, it's a pain in the butt. So, and if you were looking at finding naked weekly points of controls, you would go to the weekly time frame. You would come in, and you know, you're probably going to see it on like 2 dump candles like this here. So on the weekly time frame, get that volume profile, click this, start with this candle, bring it to the next candle, click that. That's going to be your weekly volume profile. Now you can zoom in onto like the 4 hour chart. That's your weekly volume profile, or that is right there, excuse me, your weekly volume profile. And then if we turn on our naked weekly points of controls, boom, and you can see there was a naked one there. I knew there was a naked one there because it was 2 heavy red candles. So you're most likely going to have a naked weekly. So I hope that helps a little bit there. Do you, briefly at glancing at CC, it looks to have hit the 786 already, now ranging for the next step. It looks like it hit the 786. Are you talking about this local move right here, hitting the 786? If you're looking at pulling your Fibonacci, you really want to pull the Fibonacci from that last swing low there to that high. And so it hasn't hit that 786, but if we go to the golden pocket, it's hit the golden pocket. You can see that. Yeah, okay, awesome, man. You took that long. That Rathford, that's a good long in my opinion right now. A decent long opportunity, scalp long opportunity there. We really haven't seen an aggressive break yet. I do think we're going to come, maybe if you're going to make another local low here. Let's see what we get. Oh, we rejected from that 786 of the local WXY from 64K to 74K. 64K to 74K. Okay, let's see here. Well, you would pull it from the 74K highs to those 66K lows, and your 786 is that guy right there. If you're looking for a bearish retracement, you want to go from high to low. So if you're going from 74K to 64K, I'm not sure where you're looking at that fib from. Because we didn't come down to 64. We came down to like 65, 600. So you'd want to pull it. Now, if you went down to 64K, you still kind of retraced past that 786. Seemed good before, but seems like it had to come in. Oh, I'm not sure who you're talking about, Sirac. Oh, you're talking about Big Boy. Yeah. Doing drugs, cheating on his wife. Yeah, I mean, like karma's a real thing, guys. You start, he got a bunch of money and his values kind of tanked. And that's something that is sad to see, but it happens to people. Let's see, not CC, I meant CHZ. I meant, okay, is that the altcoin chilies or something like that you want me to look at? We'll look at some of the altcoins in just a second here, guys. Let me just scroll down and see if there's anything pressing in the chat. I didn't take the trade yet on that, Sergio. I'm still giving it a little bit of time. I would like to make one more new local low, but it does look like we are starting to see some support come in here. The one thing that was keeping me out of it was the money flow on that 6 minute, but it's starting to look pretty good now. Yeah, getting the green dot here. Let's see. Let me just check this out. Let's see if we get our long from where we're at. Stop would go below the low, and I'd be targeting the highs. That's a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. TP1 would probably be around that golden pocket. But in this little area, we're now making a triangle on the 5 minute, which is a consolidation continuation pattern. So I would like to see us, if we dump again and take out that triangle low into your value area high, that would be nice to see. If we start to break out of this, I can adjust. I can adjust this, maybe enter a little bit higher. Of course, I wouldn't be able to use as big as a position size, but it would be a better confirmation to enter. LCSPZ Photography, what's up, man? I am doing well. Thank you for being here. Looking for a little bit of some local longs here. Yes, Arping, thank you for posting that. Guys, really quickly, I want to take a second to shout out the partners of the channel. The main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They're a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses. So you're already trading on futures. If you just continue to trade, depending on volume, you can earn extra bonuses. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. 50% deposit bonus on $100, up to 20% deposit bonus on $1,000, and 10% deposit bonuses up to $20,000. So really, really good incentives to jump on, better than any other exchange I've seen for the initial deposit bonuses. I have partnered with them to create that Telegram community. It's a private community, but it is free. And I do post my trades. I let you guys know if I'm taking a trade. I let you guys know what I'm thinking throughout the day on Bitcoin. If you're interested in joining, all you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link, and then deposit a minimum deposit or more of $100 into the exchange. You'll get the discounts on the trading fees. That $100 is still your money. You're just depositing it on the exchange in hopes that you'll trade with it and like the exchange and keep it as your main exchange. So once you've done that, once you've deposited the money, a minimum of 100 or more, and signed up with the link, you can click the Telegram link in the description of this video, or our pink just posted it in the chat. And in that Telegram, type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID, /verify UID, and then you'll be in. And once you're in, you're in. Next partner of the channel is Blowfin, and Blowfin is another non-KYC exchange. So I got new partnership with them. They're offering some pretty good deposit bonuses here, 20% deposit bonuses, 10% on $10,000. So you can get a $1,000 deposit bonus. They're giving VIP 1 for 30 days. And if you deposit just $5, you can get a $10 voucher. So that's for the first 300 users only. Nami is the next partner of the channel. Down here, this momentum and money flow indicator, and this is what I use for my entry and exit confirmations. Like, for instance, as we're coming down to this value area high, if I see multiple drives of bull div on low time frame here, it gives me my confirmation to look for the long on the bullish backtest of that value area high. So it has helped me tremendously get into good trades that are more probable to play out and to avoid those bad trades where you don't have proper confirmation. It pretty much paid for itself right away for me. So if you're interested in purchasing Nami, I have partnered with them to get you guys 50% off. So if you click the affiliate link in the description of this video, and then Divine50 is the discount code you can type in the promotion box, you guys can get 50% off that. And then lastly, I have MEXC and Bybit. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus, up to $1,000. Okay, looks like Bitcoin is just chopping in this triangle. That's why I haven't longed yet. I want to see some sort of break in market structure on low time frames. I want to see this either break to the upside, or I'd like to make one more local low in here. Get that second drive of bull div, third drive of bull div. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. You know, get that. See that nice bull div coming in here again. And then look for that long opportunity. Let's just do this. Let's set an alert right there. All right, we have alerts set. I will also set alerts right above the triangle. And let's go into Tau really quickly. I'm gonna go through these altcoins pretty quick, guys, because I do want to catch a live trade. Wow, it is pumping, man. That's wild. Honestly, it does look like this looks pretty impulsive to me. If we're looking at this being, you know, wave 1, wave 2, you got your wave 3 in here. So let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction and actually 1, 2, 1. Ooh, I don't like how this is not the low though. This is the low. Let me zoom in on this and see what's going on there. I mean, that is a wick there, and it's pretty much a double bottom. Let me check this out. All right, let's go from the bottom of the impulse over. Yeah, I mean, you're breaking above your macro POC here, and it does look like this is starting to become impulsive. So if we're looking at this, now that wick is a little bit concerning, but if we're looking at this as a wave 1, a wave 2, you're in your wave 3 right now. But inside the wave 3, you even have a couple 1, 2, 1, 2, and then this is your 3. So then you would look for some 4, 5s. That would complete your third wave of the 1, 2, 3, and then you'd get a pullback 4, 5. So maybe even coming up to value area high. That is pretty aggressive to come up that high, but let's look at your Fibonacci retracement. So we'll go from the last big daily high to the lows, and I'm going to put it on that low. Be careful because you're at your golden pocket. And you do with this consolidation that you had in here, you're going to have like an order block in there or a naked daily or a naked weekly point of control. Let's see if there's a naked weekly in there. Actually, nope, it's been tapped. So that's good. You are pretty much rejecting from your golden pocket and a naked monthly point of control. I would say this is a pretty tough resistance right now that we're at. What you would want to see is a small pullback because this also could be that three-wave corrective move. If you're looking at that trend-based Fibonacci extinction, you're at that 1-to-1 target between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. So I definitely wouldn't be longing where we're at now because this could be a three-wave corrective move and then you could just dump right back down here. But what we want to see is some follow through. We want to see this continue pushing up here. And honestly, you're probably going to push up towards that naked weekly point of control. Not this one. I need this one. And that naked, actually, yeah, that 1.618 would be taking out these highs up in here. So an SFP of these highs into the 1.618. You'd see this continue. You'd start to get your 4-5s coming in. Get that pullback in a wave 4, and then you'd maybe get one more high in here. So that would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. But it is starting to look pretty impulsive. How does our... Yeah, you have bear divs here. You've got to be careful here. Higher highs into that golden pocket, lower highs. Your money flow still looks decent, but it does start to look toppy. And then bear divs, money flow curving out on NAMI. 4 hour, you're topped out. Money flow looks like it's topping out. No bear divs on the 4 hour though. So what this tells me is that you're seeing those lower time frame bear divs. I would at least expect somewhat of a pullback here, but then you might continue up. And that makes sense. If you're in that that third wave, you have your 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's your 3. You're going to get some pullbacks and some 4, 5s, 4, 5s. So pullbacks in here are acceptable. And I would be looking at that 382 Fibonacci from this low to the high. Let's put on your 382 and I'll fix that. There you go. And we're going to put that based off log scale. So 217, 218, you could look for a pullback, a possible long around there, or you'd be looking at that 0.5 Fibonacci as well. So 218 to 208, actually 208 looks pretty good because it's kind of that support resistance flip of this range as well. So you can see here, support, resistance, 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 and then that's now going to be acting as support if you do grind down there. But it does look pretty bullish, and there's 1 hour bull divs and under. So yeah, you're looking probably at least somewhat of a pullback from this naked monthly and golden pocket. But based off the higher time frames, it does look like this does want to continue. Yeah, money flow, well, man, you might pull back over the weekend. In this pullback, you want to see a 3-wave corrective move. And this you could expect this to take maybe a couple days throughout the weekend. You want to see something like this where it's going to slowly pull back. And then you'd want to see bull divs between these two lows. Definitely not looking for longs now on BitTensor because you're hitting into that golden pocket. Yeah, and then you're even breaking out of this little range in here. Breaking above the POC. If you close your daily candle above this POC, that's going to be bullish. And let's do this. Let's pull that fib from the highs to the lows. Pretty interesting there. Yeah, so I would say, let's see, that's probably more than a 100% drop. 73. Okay, so it's not. It's more, excuse me, it's more than a 30% drop. So yeah, you would want to make this based off log scale. This golden pocket there. But I think let's see if we get the pullback from here. You are kind of grabbing the liquidity from this internal range in here into your golden pocket and into that naked monthly point of control. So you're probably going to see a pullback because you do have those bear divs on the 1 hour. Money flow's kind of bottoming out here. I would watch for a potential bounce at 218, let's say, and then like 2085. Those are the two areas you could watch for a bounce from. Okay, let's see. What was the other one? ETH did a daily CDW. Yeah, and Mach HK, welcome in, my friend. ETH did, and ETH is rejecting from the top of the pitchfork band. We got a pretty aggressive wick to take out the highs of the range, but you can see here on the 4 hour chart, no moves, no daily, 4 hour candle closes above that pitchfork band, and you're just chopping within the pitchfork band pretty much. No bear divs really on excuse me, the oscillators, either of them. If you did take the SFP, I would stick in that. If you're not in the SFP, I would be waiting because you could bounce from the value area high just like Bitcoin. This could be just a small drop to bounce from value area high before kind of, you know, moving up again here. But yeah, if you're short from the SFP, that could end up being a good trade. Yeah, daily time frame looks pretty good. Money flow is curving up nicely on market cipher B and is in pretty heavily in the green, and you're not seeing any possibility for bear divs here. You didn't even really have 1 hour bear divs. So yeah, because we're not seeing 1 hour bear divs or anything, you know, you're probably seeing very low time frame bear divs. 15-minute, not even really on the 15-minute. Yeah, I would expect that we're going to bounce from this. We're probably going to bounce from this value area high. And if you do, one of the things I would be watching for is if you come down, you bounce here, I would watch for a potential rejection from like the VWAP area and that pitchfork band if you're going to fall back in, and that would kind of create that 15-minute left shoulder head, right shoulder type of thing. That's a possibility, but with the lack of real bear divs that we're seeing, you might continue to break this thing up. Bitcoin is trying to break that triangle, but Solana, we'll look at Solana here. Yeah, let's see. So I would like for us to come take out the low one more time. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it would be nice to see that. Okay, oops. Solana did break out of its triangle as well with a nice spike in volume. And we did get an initial short from that zone that I was talking to you guys about, the daily and the 786 Fibonacci. So it did hit that and reject, but it came down to back test the value area high, and then it made new highs. Now our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, if we're looking at this as a corrective move, is just above us. We did front run that. We're coming down and trying to hold the value area high again. I do like the way money flow looks here. Money flow is looking good. No real bear divs, maybe very, very slight bear divs on market cipher B. But with that money flow looking bullish, I think that we really just need to hold this now, right? You need to hold this now and start to see that push back up. And man, on Solana, there's not much else to keep you. I think it was 105, something like that. There's not much resistance in here until we get up to like 104, 105. Yeah, you do have the daily order block that is starting at 100.8 or 100.5. Let's say this order block in here with the daily at the top of the order block, obviously. If you start to really break out of this, there's not much to keep you from going up there pretty quickly. I just would be wary. It is, I see a lot of people are starting to get really bullish right now. And that is when you oftentimes will kind of take out the range highs. And we haven't taken out, unlike Ethereum that took out the range highs today, you do need to be wary of SFPing the high into that 1-to-1 and then dumping again. So that is another thing I would watch for on Solana. Actually, I'm going to set an alert on that high right now, because if we do SFP that with some bear divs, I'll look to short that. And the volume profile, we are trying to back test and hold that value area high right now, but we're struggling here. So maybe we come take out this low at 88.2-ish, 88.15. Did we have some 15-minute bear divs in here? Not really, man. And money flow starting to come up. You have bull divs on the 15-minute here. I mean, everything does look good for a little bit of a continuation up, or at least a range. But here's the thing, guys. We are near the highs of the range, and be careful for these topping reversal patterns. So like a left shoulder ahead, and if you do come up here and see that rejection from your lower high golden pocket, you know, that area, then you could be forming that topping reversal pattern or a failed auction breakout of the range, and then you dump back inside. You could see a big drop here. So you have to keep that in mind as a bearish scenario. We're not seeing much strength here right now. Let's see if we SFP this low later on in the stream, and if we do, we can look for long from that, at least to bring up to wherever the golden pocket is. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to pump and the altcoins are dumping here. So our dominance is probably pushing up right now. Yep. I also don't like the way this looks though, guys. Look at the way dominance is pushing up. We could see this break down, this kind of corrective triangle, and we could see the alts run against Bitcoin. We just got to be patient here. What is my max leverage? 10x. I usually don't need to use more than 10x. Hold on. Let me get a drink here. Leverage is a tool that is used to free up margin, right? So if you have $1,000 account or a $10,000 account, whatever it is, and you're trading, say you're going to long here, your stop is going to go below this low here. You have a 0.64% stop loss percentage. So that means you could use about 1.5 times your whole portfolio. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose 1%. So if I want to have 3x leverage, then I have, let's say I have a $1,000 account. I have a 3x leverage. That means I have $3,000 in my account. 1,000 is mine, 2,000 is the exchanges, right? But I'm borrowing it. And on this trade, if we just do an example of this, hold on, let me grab my calculator here. And we're risking $10 because 1% of $1,000 is $10 divided by 0.0064. You could put $1,562 on this trade. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose $10, right? And of course you would be targeting higher. You'd be targeting at least the golden pocket, starting to break out of that. But here's the thing. If you want to have multiple trades open, you're using already 1,500 out of your 3,000 on this one trade here. So I set my leverage to 10x. That gives me more than enough margin. I can have a few trades open and not worry about having enough running out of margin in order to enter positions. So, if you have $1,000, you're borrowing 9,000 from the account, 1,000 is your money. And in this example, 1,500 out of the 10,000 would be on this trade. But now I have 7,500 left over to enter hedge shorts or to enter Solana longs or to enter whatever, So that's how leverage is used as a tool, is to free up margin for more trades. Not like if you have $1,000 account, you're not putting your leverage on 50x. Now you have $50,000 and you're longing with $50,000. That means that you get one mistake, you're going to liquidate your entire account. In the long game, that's not the way to trade. Unless you really, really know what you're doing. Like, even if you really know what you're doing, one mistake can set you back months. So I would recommend not to do that. I recommend not to risk more than 1 to 3% of your portfolio per trade. Yeah, Chig Chan, I love using those volume profiles and that Elliott waves. They're really good together. So, and then of course Pitchfork's channels, I love those as well. Alt season, I mean, yeah, it's Travie Trades, maybe alt season, or I don't know if you'd say alt season, but maybe an alt week. Let's say alt an alt storm that lasts a couple weeks. Do I ever use the visible range volume profile? I mean, it's pretty much giving you the same thing, right? The visible range volume profile is just taking the range of everything visible on your screen. So generally I'm looking at fixed ranges and measuring those, but yeah, the visible range, I mean, I do throw it on there every once in a while. I just like the fixed range better, and you can do the same thing with the fixed range. If I wanted to look at everything, let's go to like the 1 hour chart, and I wanted to look at everything available here on the screen with the visible range volume profile, or I could just do this and same thing, right? Man, I think Bitcoin's going to try to break out here. Did Solana, okay. Yeah, I mean, guys, I have to say, now Solana didn't make another new low here, or excuse me, Ethereum, but this is starting to look juicy here. You have the bull divs here, and then look at all these bullish trigger waves you're seeing. Now, it is only the 3-minute time frame, so be careful with that. Yeah, you might do something like this to take out that and then see one more drop. Heck, I mean, did you take the Say trade? I didn't take the Say trade, but I did see yesterday, and I did get into this trade, but I took profit way too early on it. Was the hype trade, guys. Remember, I think it was yesterday, Big Deal Whales, or someone asked me about Hyper Liquid, and let's see, USD. I took the hype trade. Where was it? Not this one. Yeah, the SFP right here. I had an alert set on that. We were coming up to it. We had the bear divs. Look at this super nice bear divs. Boom, boom, boom. super nice bear divs, money flow draining out of the asset. You had money flow bear divs. I was actually driving when this happened, and I looked. Don't trade and drive, guys. Do not trade and drive. But I looked at my charts while I was at a stoplight, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I took it, and then I took a lot of profits at this break right here. I think I'm still in that, by the way. I think I'm still in that short position, but it does look still pretty bullish. And I was also looking at coming up, continuing these little bounces in here until we get up to hit that golden pocket just above at 39.58, I think it was 39.59-ish. So we could come a little bit higher, but we did SFP the range highs of this range. And then you can see at $34 is the 0.5 Fibonacci in confluence with the value area high. And that would be a final TP for me, because we could be looking at a 1-2-1-2, because there's overlap between the highs and the lows here. So you'd look at this as a double 1-2. This is your third wave. Then you'd be looking for some 4-5s, 4-5s like this. So this impulse could not be done. And that's why I'm short, but I'm not looking at. If you come down to 34 with bull divs, I would look for a long. Bitcoin's breaking this thing up. All right. Let's see if we take out that high. We did take out that high. So now if we get a little pullback, even to pull back to hit the bottom of this, I would be looking for a potential long from there. How does our 1 minute look? Yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit of a pullback here. If we start to break out 1 minute candles, that's going to suck, because I could have gotten much lower. How does Solana look? Yeah, damn, you're breaking out of this. Okay. So let's see if we come back, test that high, stop goes below this low, and we're going to target that golden pocket as a TP1. But let it run to take out the whole entire highs. So that's a 3.8 risk to reward ratio there. I mean, it looks like we're about to at least see a little pullback here coming up. Do you know why I pulled over today? Because you were messing on your phone while driving. Officer, I'm 400x leverage trade with pocket. Yeah, right, Sirac. Like, I gotta explain to the officer, wait, this is a good trade. Just give me a second here. I'll give you my paperwork in a second. Gosh. At least I'm not whipping out my fib while trading driving like Jason does. I don't whip out the fib. I just take the trade. I'm short from 72,200, waiting for TP1 at the value area high. 72.2. Okay, that's a pretty decent level. That's a pretty decent level. Probably you were looking at the back test of the VWAP, and when it started rejecting, you shorted. But I would already, since you're starting to break market structure bullishly here, I would look at taking at least some, not financial advice. I don't give financial advice. That's what I would do personally if it was my trade. But this could start to really break up here. So, and damn it, we getting that kind of push here. Let's see. Let's see. It's sometimes right. Thank you so much for that kind comment, man. I really appreciate you. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the streams. I really hope you like it. Guys, please do hit the like button. If you got any sort of insight into the market from this live stream or any sort of clarity on the market, hit the like button for me or share the video. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a decent long from here, guys. This was our golden pocket. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to have to adjust here. So that's a 3-to-1 still. But I remember my overall TP is to take out the high. I would really like to see a little bit of a pullback, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. So let's see. I can still do about that $1,600 position if I was in $1,000. But I have, remember, you have to calculate your position size based off your portfolio. So if you have a $12,000 portfolio or a $50,000 portfolio, you're going to take 1% of $50,000 or 1% of $12,000, whatever that's going to be. I really hope we can at least get down there to test that again. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to calculate real quick here. And I want to check Solana because Solana looks like it could be a good setup. Let's go to that 6-minute chart. It would be nicer to see Solana. I mean, the money flow doesn't look the best here on Solana. How did Bitcoin 6-minute look? Much better. Much, much better. And it's breaking out much better. So look at, we kind of are missing the Bitcoin long, but Solana is probably about to do the same thing. Let's do this. Let's long Solana. Stop could go below the lows, targeting at least that golden pocket, which is going to be right there. So just for your TP1, you could be looking at a 3.26 risk to reward ratio, but you'd really want to come up and take out the range highs. So that is a nice 7.5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You could use about 1.25 times your portfolio. So, you know, if you had a $1,000 portfolio, you could use like around $1,250 or probably like $1,200 because it's 76. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose that $10. Remember, though, guys, we are going into the weekend and there's the potential of that topping reversal pattern. So this here could be a rejection. So I would at least be looking to TP, even if it's only 25%. TP that you take your take profit one here, and then you're going to move your stop loss to break even. You're going to protect your position, right? So that you're not worried about, and then you can let it ride. If you get stopped out, if it does drop here and you get stopped out, first off, if you're making bear divs as you're coming up here, you can look for a head short here. And then if it keeps going, you'll get stopped out on the short and your long will still be in play. If you're long and it does start to drop, you're going to get stopped out only after making 25 or 50%, whatever you pull out on that TP1, but you're in the short from up here. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can get just a little bit of a pullback here. Honestly, I would like to get the, it would be really nice if we could get the pullback down to here and long from down here. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, let's see here. Normal Swede, welcome in, my man. It's good to see you in here. Happy Friday to you. Have I used the pitchfork fib pitch fan before? Yes, I have. It does work pretty well. And I've also used the speed fan, the fib speed fan. I love those as well. Time to sing the pump song. Yeah, right? Pump up the Bitcoin, baby. Let's go. You don't want to hear me sing the pump song, man. I'm not like Jason. I can't rap. I can't sing. Okay, you got in that long from the golden pocket. Nice, man. I was waiting for the pullback to add, but all good. Pull a pitch fan though on the hourly or 15-minute from a clean low to the recent high. Okay, let's see, 15-minute. Now, are you talking about like this low here? Let's just look at these pitch fans. See, where is it at? Pitch fan. To, let's see here. To the high. To this low, maybe? You would be looking at probably doing it on the hourly. Let's go. I mean, look at that tap there. Rejected, kind of lost it. So yeah, once again, guys, if you do come up and reject, you got to watch rejecting from the bottom of this pitch fan. If it's going to grind slowly now that we're in weekend, kind of up to that golden pocket area. $71, 574. Wait, you just longed right now? Oh, hold on. You must be long from earlier today. Okay, that is still, you're underwater on that, but I would say if you start to lose the value area high, I personally, and not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, I personally would look at closing that long trade if we start to lose about $70,600, because on Bybit it's at 70.6. Cool. Let's get this pullback. Let's go. Let's go. We could also pull that triangle again, because sometimes when you break out of a triangle, you retest the top of the trend line of that triangle. So very similar. You'd be looking for a test right in here in that general zone. Let me just hide that for a second. I have not longed yet, guys, but I've set up kind of my calculated my general position size, but I have not entered the long yet. And remember, we were looking for this. This was right about to roll over here on the 1 minute, and it does look like you have some 1 minute, very slight 1 minute bear divs. But let's see if we can't get that pullback. And let's also do this now that we broke market structure bullishly, right? High, higher low, higher high. We can look for a higher low. So let's pull our golden pocket from our lows on the 1 minute to our highs. Okay, coming down to about 71,085. Man, I don't like that too much. Let's look at our 382, because remember, in a strong trend, the 382 does give you a bounce. So if we're about to start a strong trend, local trend to the upside, then at 71,240, we would expect some sort of bounce there. Let's see if we can get a couple more minutes of a drop down to this 382. I want to see this money flow starting to come back up here. And I want to see at least NAMI bottomed out on the 1 minute. Random Trader, of course, man. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see. Yes, so exactly, Caesar. If we're coming up to that golden pocket with like 15-minute and under bear divs, I will start to TP some of the long. And I will start to even look for a head short from there, just knowing you could see the topping reversal pattern. Now, I have to say on Solana, it looks a lot better than Bitcoin, right? Solana has a much nicer topping reversal pattern there. Left shoulder, head, and then you'd want this to even grind a little bit longer. Maybe it's going to come up on, I mean, we have been seeing moves on Saturday, but like if you're going to do something like this, and you want to see this, by the way, be like an impulse here, corrective move, and then another impulse to come up to that golden pocket area, and then say you're going to come up here. Wow, that would be pretty quick, actually, on the 1 minute. Yeah, it could happen today, and then you could dump throughout the weekend, but let's see if we get something like that. So Solana took out that very local high, and it gave us some bear divs on the chart on the 1 minute. Some bear divs between these two here. Very slight, but you got them. So let's see if we can't get a pullback, and let's do this. 1 minute volume profile here. You're inside the volume profile. Let's see if we can't get a bounce from the POC here. If we start to get a bounce from 88.8, remember that's also where your value area high is of your 5-week range. Is pretty much right where we're at right now. But even now, if you're looking to take the long, I mean, I think it's pretty acceptable to look for a long and then stop going below the low. Sure, you might get stopped out again because you might come grab this low. But if you get stopped out, you can re-enter. You know, you lose one trade, you're losing 1%, and then say you enter down here on the SFP and you make 6% on the next long, well, you're up 5% overall still on those two trades. Mystery Matrix, welcome in, my man. Thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate you joining the live stream, and I'm glad you like it, man. Thank you so much. You guys, remember, I do have the Telegram where I do try to post my updates to you guys in the Telegram on what I'm thinking on Bitcoin, and if I take trades on Bitcoin or the altcoins. It is free to get in. All you need to do, because it is a partnership with my partner BYDFI, so you do have to sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description and deposit the minimum deposit of $100. You can deposit more if you want to. But that is your money. You're not giving me that $100. It's your money to trade with. You're just depositing on the platform in hopes that you will use the platform and like it and stick with it. So once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And once you're in the Telegram channel, type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID, and you'll get into the Telegram. And once you're in, you're in. We're building a really great community in there, and appreciate all of you guys so much inside of that Telegram. Like, really great traders in there, really great people in general in there. All right, I don't like how we're bouncing. We lost the high. We just rejected that high locally. That tells me that we should come down and take out this local low right here. So let's see if we can take out that local low into that 382. Hopefully by then, because I don't like the way our 1 minute money flow looks either. And this might continue to grind a little bit before coming down. But let's hope we can get down to that 382. I'll look for that long. Let's recalculate. So let's just say we're going to long this 382. I personally would be putting my stop. I mean, the technical stop you'd want to put below that low right there. And then you would be targeting your golden pocket as a TP1. That's still a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. You could use, because it's about 0.6%, you could use about 1.4 times your entire portfolio on 1.4x leverage. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose 1% of your portfolio. Yep. Let's see if we get this, guys. Let's see if we get this pullback now. Let's take out that local low, that local 1 minute low here. Let's get that 382. Let's see if we can't get some bull divs on the 1 minute on NAMI. And I want to see this money flow kind of bottom out in here. How does our 5 look? It is starting to curl over on Market Cypher. I don't like that too much. It looks like it wants to curl over here. I hope we get the drop to 382. That would be really nice to get. Yeah, thank you, R Pink. Yeah, guys, 77 likes. Can we get it up to 100 likes today? That would be really awesome if we got 100 likes on the stream. If we do get 100 likes on the stream, we'll definitely try to do some more scalping next week in the live streams. I do stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at, now it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again with that daylight savings change. But yeah, if we can get those 100 likes, we'll try to do some more low time frame scalping. If the market is in scalp mode, right? I mean, we're not going to force anything, but yes. Let's see if we can get it. I'm just sitting in text real quick, guys. All right, let's go. Come on, a little bit. We got to be patient. Now I like the way money flow is starting to pop up here, though. And it is setting up for some nice little 1 minute bear divs. Bull divs, excuse me. Yeah, me too, man. David, I hate the daylight savings time stuff. It just messes people up, right? Is this a good spot for a long trade? It's a generally good spot for a long trade, a scalp long trade. And the reason why is we're back testing the value area high. You can see our value area high of our range that we broke out of. Let me hide this for a second. We're back testing that value area high. What did I just delete? So you back test that. I would like to come take out our range highs here because we're breaking out of our volume profile. If you bullishly backtest it and bounce, you expect to at least come up to your golden pocket area. Man, the volume is totally died off. We're on the 1 minute chart and look at this. I swear the market makers watch us. Like, what the heck is this, dude? You could still use 1 1/3 of your account and still not, if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose 1%. Still a pretty good risk to reward ratio there. Let me check something here. I'm being a little bit stubborn here, guys, because this back test right here, we should come take out this low. So I'm just being stubborn and waiting for us to come take out that low. Let's see if we get that. It would be even nicer to hit the 382, but I just want to take out that low real quick. Short-term prediction for Bitcoin. I do think that this is a tough range that we're in right now. With the move up that we've seen this week, it kind of is, I don't want to say invalidating our bearish, the bounce that we got from this last weekend, last Sunday's lows. It could be a corrective move, but we were looking initially at this being an impulse to the downside. and we were looking for a lower high corrective move before dumping really harshly, but because we're coming up so high on this move here, it is lessening the probabilities that we're going to dump right away. So I am actually looking now short term, a bounce from this area to take out the range highs and potentially come up to like 75.3. We might even come up to 78. I don't know if it's going to get that high. We're going to have to see how we react once we take out these highs and once we get to that 75.3. But I am looking for shorts around that 75.3 or even the SFP of the range highs. I do still think there is a pretty good possibility we could take out 60K. Because this entire range so far looks corrective to me. This 5-week range looks like a corrective range. But because we're showing local strength within the corrective range, I'm looking to take out the range highs before seeing that drop. And we're not really seeing the bear divs you would want to see. If we were going to see really nice, a drop from right here, you would want to see bear divs between these two highs. And we don't see the bear divs in here. We don't see the bear divs on 1 hour. We don't see them on the 4 hour. We don't see them yet on the 8 hour. If we take out this high on the 8 hour, we could be putting in some really nice bear divs. So until that happens, I am kind of looking for the range to continue and for us to push up locally. Of course, this has always got to happen in our freaking live streams, guys. We start the live stream and this is our price action. You shorted the high today and got stopped out right before the dump. Dang. Man, I know that feeling, Andrew. That sucks. All I would say is as long as you're using good risk management, you can actually get stopped out a few times, lose a few trades, and then the one trade that does play out will usually pay for all of those and some more. So just make sure you're using good risk management. Yes, Machi HK, technically this can still be a wave 2. You're right. As long as wave 2 didn't take out the start of wave 1, but we've already passed the 88 Fibonacci, 886 Fibonacci. We've even hit the 0.9 Fibonacci. So that's super rare. But could it play out? Yes. And at the beginning of the stream, I did talk about how that would be like the ultimate trap from the market makers, right? Like we have our big wave 1 to the downside. Our wave 2, everyone's like, oh, no way. We got so close to the highs, it's going to keep breaking out. And then we dump. Like that would be the ultimate trap for market makers, specifically because in today's pump to the upside, this pump here, we saw a whole lot of long positions coming in. It was a strong move to the upside. And so far, the drop that we're seeing right now is just a long squeeze down. Our open interest is decreasing here. It is just a long squeeze to the downside. Yeah, man, those shorts can start getting squeezed. We had some shorts coming in. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. So look at in this zone here, you saw fresh shorts coming in this little leg down. So if we do start to kind of get up here, we could squeeze them very, very quickly. Bitcoin's being a little bit of a stubborn biatch right now. Yeah, risk management, trade management, emotional management, patience, and loss of patience. You're right, David. That's it, man. That's the key. So much of trading is about the psychology and the patience of it, and also just using proper risk management. They're looking for the end of the day week to catch people during power hour to get people to throw in those paychecks. Yeah, that's true. Odyssey 1, welcome in, man. Do you use the colorful ribbon on NAMI? I think it's really good. Not too much. I don't use it too much. I'll have to check that out a bit and test that. But you like that, huh? I'll check that out. It's Friday, not the best day to be getting into a position. You're right. And time attack, that is one thing, guys. If it's a Friday afternoon, we're going into weekend price action. It's generally not the best thing to enter unless you're like willing to babysit your trade and kind of monitor it. For me, I mean, it is very possible that we chop around the value area high for a few hours and we do, in maybe later tonight or early Saturday, take out this low. So there is a possibility that this trade we're entering right now does get stopped out. We could form a little bit of a range down here before seeing that push up. So just be aware that if you're entering this trade right now, there's a possibility you do get stopped out in a range over the weekend. Wow, Bitcoin completely died. It completely died off here. This is wild to see. Let's see. Random question. I've noticed some of my trades, smaller in size, go up like 400% to 1,000% sometimes. But it's funny how hesitation kicks in. Yeah, some of the smaller trades. Well, you're right. So some of the scalp trades end up turning into really, really good trades. And the crazy thing about scalps is because you're looking on such low time frames, your stop is so tight that it ends up being a decent position size. And when it does run, so if you get one scalp trade with a real tight stop loss that ends up being a runner, that's when you get those freaking amazing trades that end up, really boosting your portfolio, your gains. But yeah, they're rebooting the PC. It is extremely boring to watch right now, Lost X. I agree with you 100%. Man. Yeah, 1 day time frame. I do like trading on higher time frames generally, guys. I don't do a lot of this, but yeah. Well, thank you for that comment, David. I do my best to try to explain to you guys what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking it as well with the trades. And then it just comes down to the technicals, right? Knowing the technicals. We know that a 382 does bounce you in a strong trend. I'm not so sure this is looking so strong anymore, right? Like I'm hoping we get the 1-2s, and then that big breakout, but this thing just does not want to take that low. It doesn't want to take the highs. It's going completely flat sideways. Like this is bot trading, extraordinaire. We have no one entering. Maybe I should enter a position and see if it pushes it up. I'm not that big, guys. I don't trade with millions. How is Solana doing? Let's look at Solana real quick. Solana, same thing, just chopping. It would be nice to take out an SFP, that 88.5. But you are chopping right around your value area high. I'm going to check where our naked daily is, even though it's not confirmed yet. If that naked day, because we have a fair value gap right here. And this fair value gap could get filled. So maybe we're looking at 786 top out at 92 here. Interesting. Wow. Okay. There you go. There you go on Bitcoin. So I am really surprised it didn't take that out, but Once again, you could still enter here, guys, if you want to. You're obviously going to have to adjust your position size. I would be putting my stop below these lows now. And then we'd be targeting golden pocket as a TP1. And then, of course, you're targeting the highs, TP2, and then, like, you know, so that's still a decent scalp trade right there. It would be best, though, knowing, like Time Attack said, knowing we're going into the weekend, to be patient here, to not enter right now, to be patient, and to wait for a range, a little bit more of a range, not a 1 minute range to form, but like a 15-minute range to form, where you could get that pullback a little bit more. Yeah, that's still a pretty good stop there. Okay, so let me just do this. I'm still long on oil too, guys. I just saw that I'm still in that trade. I'm looking for it to come up to like this 104 to $100, $101 to 103 area. But I got in this zone in here. Because it was like that. You hit your golden pocket. I'm expecting a bit of a potential. You know, this, you could count this as a 1. There was a running flat here and a 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you get your move up to the golden pocket before seeing another move down. Now, there's still a way, though. You could count this as a 3-wave move, too. And then you would be looking for a somewhat, maybe a double zigzag in here. You'd have to look at a double zigzag in here. And then you'd still want to see another move down, like a WXY flat correction before continuing up. And there's still a real possibility oil could continue up with the war, with what's happening in the war right now. Now we go back to nothing again. One candle of a push up, and now we go back to the slowest grind you'll ever see. Okay, wait. CC looks good to go. Oil over the weekend is risky. Yes, it is. I understand that, Caesar. I have stops in place. If I get stopped out, I'll still win that trade. And for oil, I'm using Blowfin. It's CLUSDT. Blowfin has it. Also, MEXC has it under US oil. So both of them do. David, you're long on oil since the 8th? Yeah. Okay, watch ETF flows. One Bybit wick down and touch the 382. Oh my gosh. Gosh darn it. We did do that. Ugh. So annoying. Where we at? Yeah, pretty much. I kind of don't like the way these are looking, though. This does look somewhat corrective in here. Like a wedge. Money flow looks pretty good, though. Let's go to the 15. Let's see how the 15 looks. Yeah, money flow looks pretty decent, coming back up into the green. I mean, there was no bear divs, guys. There was no real bear divs on Market Cipher B or NAMI. So I do think that we are going to see another move to the upside. But with not Solana and Ethereum, we do have a real possibility of some sort of topping pattern in here. Bitcoin looks a little bit better. So just be aware that you could see that. Okay, cool. Solana still hasn't broken out. So it looks like right now for me, Solana is the one that I'm, because Bitcoin and Ethereum, we've kind of missed those already. Solana. All right, we're back testing that value. Let's do that. I would put my stop down there. And then remember, TP1 would be at the golden pocket. Still a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Yeah, rule 1, take A+ setups. Rule 2, see rule 1. I've been long since the 8th. Yep, a small trade. Okay, let's see. Any advice for profit taking? Don't get too greedy. A lot of people think that every trade is the one that's going to make them a bunch of money. If you're in scalp mode mentality, you have to take profit at scalp resistances. So for instance, like on this right now on Solana, say you're longing this back test right here and you start to come up to the VWAP with like very grindily and you're starting to see some bear divs and you start to reject there, pull some out and be happy with what the market gave you. Set your stop to break even. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. You can re-look to re-enter another one. Depends on what type of trade you're doing, but you want to have those resistances marked out ahead of time where there's possible take profit levels, but take profit when you should. Because a lot of people will have a trading plan like on Bitcoin, you know, let's say we're back testing the value area high and our plan is to TP1 at the golden pocket to TP2 if we take out the highs. And we'll see this, something like this, where it comes up, it kind of hits in here. They're like, oh, I'm not going to TP because I think it's going to keep going. And then it does keep going. And then they're like, okay, good. I didn't TP there. I'm glad I didn't. And then it comes up here. It starts to wick and maybe create some sort of failed auction up here. And they're like, I'm not TPing because it's not really rejecting. And then guess what happens? It forms a little bit of a range, failed auction, and then it dumps. And all of a sudden, you're all the way down here because it dumped really quickly. And you're like, damn it, I had a plan to take profit here. I had a plan to take profit here, but I got greedy and I thought I was going to keep going and I didn't take profit. And now I'm messed up. So take profit when you should. And if you have to, set a limit, take profit. Calculate out 25%, set a limit, take profit, put the limit there and walk away. So when it hits and you don't have any greed involved in that. Like it really is, that's part of the psychology too, is giving what the taking what the market will give you and not getting too greedy. Okay. All right. Let's see if we're going to get anything in here. Yeah, I mean, I think I am going to attempt a scalp long from this zone right now. Stop is going to go below the actual daily low, today's lows. Okay, so if we're looking at, and this is just an example, let's say you do have $1,000 account, right? So we're risking $10. We're going to divide that by 0.0077. We can put on about $1,298 on that trade. And if we get stopped out, we're only going to lose $10. The bear market is over. No, I don't think the bear market's over. I think that I still think a big short is possibly coming soon. Yeah, I've been buying Chainlink too. Chainlink is very interesting to me, and I do think Chainlink is one of the ones that is going to do well once it actually starts to pop. But we're at a very important range in here. Oh, by the way, guys, I called this Chainlink. This was one that I was going to take, but literally at the same time that Chainlink was doing this, if you watch Wednesday's videos, I marked out all three of these lows together. I said higher low, higher low, higher low. It would be nice to come down, swing fail those lows, and then you could come up and swing fail these two highs. And it played out absolutely perfectly. I had an alert set. You can see alert set on this one right here, and it did it. And it was the same time I was driving, so I didn't take that one, but it played out perfect. Swing failed those lows, and then you get the push up. And then now we push up to our resistance. We're at our resistance now. Saw the pullback. We're pulling back to value area high. But we are inside the value area. No bear divs really between these two highs, so I like that. I do think, and look at, we even wicked up to this resistance again. But that resistance was from this short. We had already taken it. I think it was the SFP into a naked daily point of control up there or something like that. There was something up there with it. Man, this has been agonizing, to say the least. I did end up taking this long just now, guys, but if we do get stopped out, I'll get stopped out and I'll look to re-enter. My TP1 is going to be at the golden pocket. You know, look at this SFP, this internal SFP at your 0.65, pretty much, let's say 72,860. And then if we get bear divs riding up to that, I might try to enter a head short, but I do think because we got so close to taking out those highs, I do think we are going to come take them out. Is it possible that the market makers play this trick and we dump? Yeah, it is, but and technically you do have that three-wave corrective move in here. And it is a lower high, so there is still a possibility of a big dump. It hasn't been invalidated hard yet. Very close, but not invalidated. And then over the weekend, keep an eye out for if you're going to SFP those highs at 74,100, that could be a good short, or coming up to that level I showed you at the beginning of the live stream. Our 0.5 Fibonacci pulled from the highs of 3 to the lows of 3 on non-log scale. Where is that at? 75, 238. You have your trend-based Fibonacci extinction right there, your one-to-one extinction. If we're looking at the extinction pull from low to high to low, and then you also have your smaller fib extinction there. If we're looking from low to high to low, right in this zone here. Let's see, did I miss any altcoins, guys? Did I miss any of the altcoins that you guys posted in the chat? What's up, Crypto Clown World? Welcome in, my man. Yeah, Circle and Link. Okay, I don't have any. I think I have a little bit of Circle, but mine are Circle or Link and Solana. Those are my bags, man. Link and Solana. Yeah, and a Model 2 distribution on the daily on Link. It very well could be, man. Unfortunately, Solana looks like that Model 2 distribution on the weekly that ended up already playing out, starting to play out. Oh, I see what you, maybe something like that. Or are you looking much higher? Yeah, I see what you mean. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, starting to break down. The thing is, you're already near the lows. Like, you can, maybe if this breaks down, it's going to break down to like, you know, the $5 to $7 area. But for me, Chainlink had such a good accumulation in this area. This was 2 years of straight up an accumulation range. And then you expanded to the upside. So once you start getting back down into this range again, especially at this POC down here, I mean, for me, there's such high volume in this $7 area that I will continue buying in that area, even if I have to hold it. Like my Link bag, I'm okay holding it for a whole cycle, 4 or 5 years or whatever. But I do think that Chainlink eventually is one of the ones that's not going to fully die out, right? So I'm comfortable buying in these lower ranges and holding it for quite some time if I have to. Yeah, even the smaller range. I see what you meant there. This little small range in here. It's getting very close to a Model 1, though. I could see tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and maybe it's going to roll over. Yeah, it's a possibility. Look at the way Market Cypher's starting to roll over here, wanting to. It would be better to get it as a Model 1, though, to come up a little bit higher, SFP that, and then you would have some bear divs. Higher highs, lower highs. This starting to roll over. And actually, you can kind of see this. Let me just hide some of this that we've got in here. You can actually see that we have kind of this channel that is being formed. Let's do not that. That's too much. Maybe we're going to come up to the top of the channel first at $10. I hope it gets up into the 30s again, man. I hope it actually breaks all-time highs in the next 5 years. Yeah, Peter, that October 2025 did something very similar. Let's see, where was that? October 2025. Right in here, maybe? Are you talking about? Okay, E&A. Yeah, let's see E&A. Wow. It's been dumping pretty aggressively here. Do we have a chart that's got more price action? Yep. All right, let me get rid of some of this. I mean, it's at all-time lows pretty much. I would be worried about this still continuing a little bit. Let's see if we get this. I mean, you are at your 1.236 fib extinction. Very, very nicely there. So in a three-wave corrective move, you're coming down to your 1.236. You're starting to bottom out here and form a range. And this is starting to get that kind of selling exhaustion, right? Where you're starting to see this kind of go sideways in here. So for me, for E&A, obviously I'm not trading this, but I would personally want to see a break in market structure, take out these local highs here. And then if you get a retrace down to your golden pocket area, and it's probably going to be where your POC of your range is as well, that would be the area that I would look at buying some spot to get a nice move up. But you did have some really nice bull divs coming into this 1.236. Lower lows, higher lows here. Now your money flow was still kind of crappy, but now it's finally starting to go up. You can see you did have the bull divs in here as well, and money flows crossed into the green on NAMI. So let's zoom in on this and let's look at the lower range. This range is what I would be paying attention to from this wick on. So I would look at this range in here. Yeah, I would want to break up, continue to break this up, take out those highs into the value area high, where you're probably going to get at least some sort of pullback from taking out these highs into the value area high. And then you could, let's also pull our golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket's already been tapped. Let's look at the 786, which is probably going to be just above the value area. Yep, that's the zone I would definitely be looking at. That value area high 786, and then that would also be a break in market structure on the daily time frame, a bullish break. And then if you get a pullback, it's probably actually going to be towards value area low, and that would fill the range one more time too, and kind of give you this nice little tap one, tap two, maybe a tap three in here. Little sort of accumulation pattern in here. But let's pull a theoretical fib. Let's just bring it up. Yeah, 786, and then if you pulled it down to the range lows, it's going to be near your golden pocket. So that is kind of where I'd be looking, in that 10.5 cent area to about 10.2. But only if you break market structure bullishly and then come back down. Yep, you have a naked daily down there as well. Really nice. So right now, this is a theoretical fib, but this zone is actually, and this zone here is where, but I would want it to come up first. If you reject right now from where you're at, it's not as nice because you don't have that confirmation of a bullish break in market structure. And this could be forming kind of a triangle to end it. Right? Some sort of triangle in here that would end it. So, man, I think you're rejecting your 786 right now today. Yeah, you're pretty much rejecting that 786 Fibonacci right there. And you're dumping underneath the POC of the range. So depending on how you close, which it does look like you're probably going to close below the POC unless you can get back up pretty quick. Like I said, I wouldn't be buying this thing until you get a bullish break in market structure on the daily. It is starting to calm down. It is starting to range and go sideways. Man, what do I think about Trump coin? I haven't even checked it since like a couple weeks after it launched, but I can check that real quickly here. Man, this is starting to look corrective, guys. I don't like the way this is starting to look. Grind up on real low volume. It's probably going to dump down one more time and take out those lows. I kind of don't like the way this is going now. Oh, and some bear divs on the 1 minute. Well, I entered. If I get stopped, I get stopped. I'll re-enter. Okay, let me check Trump real quick. Wow. Okay. That's a big daily candle there. Did something happen with it today? Is that why? I remember this channel that we were in. This kind of descending channel that we've been in. So you've been just kind of grinding sideways and down within this channel. You pushed up to the midline of the channel today. And then also, it's probably going to be around that golden pocket. Yeah, right around the golden pocket. It's a pretty nice support resistance flip area if you come up just a little bit higher to hit that golden pocket. But you are breaking out of this range. You can see you kind of had a little range in here. It depends on if we close today's daily candle above this high at 380. Because if you fall back underneath, if you reject from this midline and fall back underneath and close the daily below this, it can get bad. It can retrace all the way back down pretty much towards the lows of the range. But you did have some nice bull divs on the daily. You can see here, you're at the bottom of your channel. You have some nice bull divs. You have bull divs here as well. The thing is with these meme coins, and especially like this coin where it's so affected by politics and tweets and stuff like that, it's harder to know when you're going to get those kind of big volatile moves. Let's go to the 3 hour. Yeah. Okay. So if you lose this high and close the daily below this high, it's pretty bad. But especially if you lose 357.8, that is going to be really bad. You do not want to start to fall back inside the volume profile. You don't really have any bad bear divs here, but and it is trying to bounce from that high. You can see you rejected the midline. You're coming down. You're trying to bounce from your prior range highs, not the value area high, but the range highs. And so depending on what happens here, but if you do, I would also be careful because, I mean, this is pretty much straight up here, but, and it does look impulsive though. If you do something like this, bounce, and then fill in this fair value gap, and then drop back inside, you might see a 3-wave move down to backtest the value area high, and then hopefully it holds and you can work your way up. Another thing you could look at is pulling your golden pocket from the lows to the highs. Let's make sure that's on log scale. And okay, value area low. Well, so once again, if you fall back inside the volume profile, you're going to fill it to the value area low. So what in a bearish case, you could be looking at this as an A wave. You kind of get that 3-wave corrective move down to the golden pocket, value area low, and a B. And then you get your C wave up to your higher golden pocket. That's that 3-wave corrective move before it just continues, you know, trading in here. So that's something I'd watch for too. Anyways, guys, I do got to get going for the weekend. I got a few things I got to go get done here, coming up into the weekend. Thank you guys all so much for being here. The kind comments, the awesome trades. Next week, let's see, did we get 100 likes? Let me check this out. Where is my likes? But we'll look at doing some more streams, some more scalps next week. $107. Yeah, we got it. Thank you guys. That's really awesome of you. Thank you guys all so much. Have a good weekend, everyone. Trade safe. Remember, looking at Bitcoin to take out those local highs, but we have to hold the value area high. Let's see if we can hold 70.8 to 70.6. So far, it's trying to. And then also be aware of that lower high golden pocket rejection, because on the lower time frames, you do have internal liquidity there. These highs in here, and you have that order block right there as well. So just be aware of that kind of area. And then if I do end up taking a short from this area, I'll let you know. I'm going to set an alert here right now at that golden pocket. So now we have an alert set. And then, of course, I already have an alert set on the highs if we take out the highs. 75.3 is another level I'm watching. This is starting to look corrective. So if we do drop down, I'll get stopped out and I'll look to re-enter if we have bull divs between this low and this low. I want to see bull divs there. 15-minute and under. All right, guys. Thank you.